Hello, everyone. Welcome back to more chess against Chody Kin as black. I'll continue playing the Sicilian. I still don't understand it, but that's all right. I don't understand any other openings either. Let's not develop the knight yet this time. Let's go here. And here I think we do not capture, right? Because that just invites them to make this cool pawn duo. Well, but then if takes, I still hate this as well, right? So they get the queen trade in. I don't understand the Sicilian. I could go here? It seems like a lot of pawn moves to be making. Yeah, that's got to be wrong. Let's just develop the bishop so that I can retake here if I want. Yeah, the Sicilian seems complicated. I don't know if it's maybe the best opening for me to be looking at. You could just do it like this, right? Or I guess this would be the more. It's like a pretty standard. I don't know about stand. It's a very popular response to e4, and I think like right e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. I think it's pretty normal. I don't know. But I want to challenge this center. Okay. Here? Doesn't really, I don't think it works. They could just push the knight away. It does give up their pawn duo to do so, so it might not be the end of the world. Like here, after this, maybe. But then I'm spending 2 moves on a knight, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like it very much, actually. So I don't think this is right. I could take here. And then push this pawn? No, it just falls because of the knight. Let's let's attack the e pawn, I guess. Wait, yeah, this right. This doesn't work. Well, I don't love being stuck in front of my pawn, but I guess this is all right, probably. I'd be pretty happy to see pawn push, I think. And if they don't pawn push, they have to do something that defends this pawn, which would kind of have to be like this, probably. And then I maybe have ideas here someday. Not immediately, but the bishop here might become a problem, perhaps. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is just a pretty natural developing move. But what am I doing about that? I guess here's all right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a minute ago I said it was bad. Not much has changed, really. They'd have to do this. I guess I could consider developing the bishop. I was like, why didn't I put the bishop here to begin with, pinning the knight? It's because I developed the bishop before the knight was there. I could do this, and then this is more of a threat, but I'm not sure it's worth moving the bishop again. I should just get out more pieces. And this is still bad, right? Yes. I don't know, I hate this position. Okay, let's just try to get fianchettoed, I guess. Even though the knight's in the way. Gives the knight this amazing square, doesn't it? I mean, I guess he's already had it for a while, but it becomes harder to challenge. I don't know. If he went there, I could just kick him. A move that would be a mistake, for example, would be to try to kick him with the bishop. Because this attack. Oh no, wait. What am I talking about? There's no fork here. So maybe here would actually be good. Because it kind of pins it to the bishop. Not really. I mean, I don't know. It sort of half restricts the knight and the queen, right? If the queen wants to leave the bishop alone, then the knight would become pinned. But that's a bit of a parlay. I don't know, is that... Oh. Well. The queen is attacking this, huh? It's also attacking this? So there's threats of, like, here... Checkmate? I don't think that's real, though, right? Is it? I have this if they ever try. So I think I just, like, stop the queen from attacking my pawn. And then if here, I'm like, go away. Right? The other thing is I could try this. Offering a queen trade, but it's one that it gives me this doubles my pawns, but it gives my rook some room to breathe. I think I'd be okay with that. Yeah, let's see if they want to trade queens. I don't know. I guess there's like kind of a problem here, which is that if I think it's good for me to accept a queen trade, it should be bad to actually trade queens myself because it's sort of symmetrical, right? Suppose they don't trade, then I trade. I'm like giving their rook a better scope. But I got to do this like to develop, so it was like I don't know. It's one way to deflect this attack, although I think not really. I don't know. This would have been fine, right? Or even here maybe be better. I don't know. I wouldn't mind getting the pawn a little further forward. Is there some way to see if I'm dropping frames? Like it seems like the video is sometimes choppy. It looks fine at the moment, but this all looks okay. I don't know. I tried a few videos ago. I changed my recording from 30 FPS to 60, but there's so little moving on a chessboard that it really shouldn't matter either way, right? It shouldn't look much better, and it shouldn't cost much more performance-wise. Okay. So they want this idea. But if they go for it, I just push a pawn, right? So I think I just quietly develop, and I'm okay with this. What if, suppose, like, can they just do the sack immediately? sack the bishop, and then when takes, follow up with check. Is that good for some reason? I don't think so. So the thing is that if I try to block this with the bishop, they could sack and hurt my king side. So that's why I think I block with pawn. They can still do that, and it hurts my king side, but they have to lose a bishop for it. But I think I can just do this first, and then if they threaten here, then I disrupt them, right? It may seem tempting to do stuff like this, attacking the undefended bishop, but this both defends the bishop and attacks my rook, so I would just have to retreat. I guess I also could have tried to chase away the bishop. I don't really see the follow-up here for them. What is the point of putting the knight here now? I mean, it's a nuisance, but I can just kick it away. And I don't really think this sack is any good. I'd rather chase the bishop first, though. I think. I don't know. I guess once they go here, my pawn is sort of forever a liability. A bit. It keeps my bishop tied down for the foreseeable future. But only so long as theirs is tied down. God, my opponent's pawn structure looks so much nicer than mine. But I'm a little bit more developed. Really? That's interesting. I thought you were going to run away over here. So I have this, obviously. And then they would have to run away way back here, inside the pawn chain. Which might be nice for me, but does it make this a liability? I don't think so. And it keeps this pawn much stronger because the bishop doesn't have to worry so much about it with a pawn stopping diagonal attacks against it. And it can never really be attacked from over here because if takes, takes, right? It does cede some control of the center to go here. Suppose like this. I want to like break open the position somehow. I guess I could just do it like this. Here, here. Maybe what I should do is get castled first and then have this idea when I can get a rook to this file easily. Yeah, let's just castle. You know, actually, there was this. It actually does pin the knight. Which is an idea we had a while ago. queen was there, but she's not anymore. They can do something like this to defend the knight, or they can just like let the pin sit there because I don't have an easy way to build up on it. Hmm. Yeah, takes here would be pretty horrible, wouldn't it? These pawns would become isolated as well. Yeah, let's not do that. So I guess what I could do then is try to get this knight somewhere else. Like here. Or even really just here. And then this would threaten pawn push. So that's kind of like my 3-move plan to win a knight. Obviously, opponent will have other ideas in the meantime. But I kind of want to get this knight out of here anyway. It's sort of vulnerable, just sitting there in the middle of a hole in my pawn structure. This pawn's undefended. Yeah, that's true. Here is no good. Here, I think, could be okay. Well, yeah. It's attacked twice and defended twice, right? Here, if takes, I'm like, fine. There's not really any other way to defend this pawn. Oh, there is. Well, no. I can chase this away first, but I'm still left with the problem, right? I don't think I have any other, like, threats to win a pawn myself. I could defend the pawn like this, actually. I don't like that because it boxes the rook in, but it might be worth it. And it moves this knight, which makes this idea, like, move a little bit faster. But at this point, they can just defend the bishop easily by, like, pushing a pawn, so the pin is not so exciting anymore. It's actually more of a discovery for them. They can move and attack my bishop. Okay, fine. It does let the bishop into a pretty horrible spot for me. I don't know. It would be a little bit difficult to work around, but I could do something like this. Oh, but this is forking my pawn and my rook. I guess that's why this defends the pawn. But then takes, and I'm down a pawn, right? Yeah. It's like my pieces are not very well organized. I'm not really thinking about what's undefended, right? I might have noticed this pawn being a problem sometime. I don't know. I think I just don't have the discipline to really actually work on improving my game any more than just practice would do. Or just like repeatedly playing. Oh, yeah, that's true. You don't even have to take with the pawn. Because now I definitely can't recapture. But I can do, like, here. I don't know. I think they should retake with knight, because then I don't really have anything. But if they make the mistake of retaking with pawn, I can push the knight away? And then win this, maybe? And even, if they do, like, this is not such a bad trade for me. Because it opens up some kind of hole in the enemy king position, right? And I can add more fuel to this fire and maybe win something eventually. I feel really bad about this knight. And these pawns, and really just everything. Well, maybe I should hang on this? Like, wait a moment? I'm not sure. No, I don't know. I want to make them move that F pawn, I think. Let me just check. So if you're here, I have moves like bishop that that are like that are a little hard to defend the pawn, but they would push the pawn, I suppose. And then I don't really know what I would do about it. So what if instead I just played the bishop here? They can take. Hmm. I don't see much happening in either case, really. Okay, let's go in for this. And I assume they go here? But then I get this pawn, right? Yeah, I had this idea a while. Oh. Does that work? I don't think so. Well. Oh, that's no good. It drops this pawn. Now, the knight is not a stable defender of this. Check. And grab this. And the position is still bad, but I'm not down material. And I have this pretty cool bishop. And I might, like, finally develop my knight to one of these squares. The thing is, if I put him here, he can't really go anywhere. So I'm thinking this, attacking the bishop. The thing is, I think they would be thrilled for me to take the bishop because it gives them this file. But also, this is a little dangerous, isn't it? Okay, I don't think I mind dropping back with the bishop. This is a well-defended square. What if I went here instead? I get a bishop trade, but I don't know if I want that. My bishop is... Well, our bishops are both pretty good, I guess. Right, like here, 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 I get yet another isolated pawn. I don't think that's so great. Let's just step back, watch over the center. I guess they might have this idea, but I think I'm okay with this to try to stop that. I don't know, maybe my bishop's a little too exposed. I mean, this pins the pawn. Well, not really. Actually, there are 3 attackers on this square now. And only 2 defenders. I could do this, but that invites the pawn even further. Wait. Take a bishop? How long has that been there? Just now. Alright, maybe I should look at undefended pieces. I'm pretty sure this is great. Here, it allows this, but I should be able to do something about the pawn. Yeah, give me your bishop. That's a little scary. Takes... Like, I lose a pawn this way. I've already lost a pawn. Taking just, like, exchanges more material. Do I want to exchange more material? Do I have some cooler idea? Like, these rooks are kind of dangling a bit. I kind of want to just get my knight into the game and say, you can take this, and if you do, I'll go here. But I guess, yeah, my bishop is watching that square. So I think it's worth a try. And also, if they try to push, I can get behind it, and then I have my knight threatening to take. Okay. Oh, that's guarded. Woohoo! Spooky. Okay, I didn't notice that. Or I forgot, maybe? Oh no, this is horrible. I lose the game now. Rook here is winning. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. I didn't realize I couldn't recapture. The bishop is guarding it. Like, I can't not do this, can I? Anywhere else I move the rook, they just promote. And I can't really stop it. And if I don't move the rook, they just take the rook. What can I do after this? Anything? No. um. Hmm. I don't see anything. There's no like moves that come with exciting tempo. Well, there's this. But I guess since promoting is checkmate, maybe not that great tempo wise. Okay. I think I have to do this, and at least like my knight and rook are both defended in that case. And I threaten stuff like this, which there is rook blocks, so it's not checkmate, but it is like sort of something. My pieces are kind of miraculously held together. Just barely for the moment. I think it's very obvious that I'm losing, but there might be some counterplay. The problem is, after this, there's only one legal move, so they can't really help but spot it. And I don't have any follow up. Hmm. I don't know. Everything is bad, obviously. Okay, I mean, I get this. Oh, there's actually two legal moves. Yeah. Hmm. What bamboozles might I have? This check doesn't really do much. I could try throwing a bishop here and see if they like go for it. But it doesn't work at all. It doesn't accomplish anything, even if they do go for it. I don't know. Probably just give up, huh? Fine. So I was winning for a moment here, huh? Yeah, it was pretty even until King G7. Interesting. Well, I also gave something up with Knight C6, but so Bishop C4. Sorry, they played Bishop C4, right? It doesn't like my Bishop G7. So I had this. I don't know. Is that good? No, I had something better. Oh, just take a pawn? Don't worry about this idea. Actually, taking the pawn defends this. Defends this as well. Yeah, that would be great. Just pay more attention to undefended pieces. This is why you keep losing. Okay, don't castle. Chase down the bishop again? I don't know, I was a little worried about making this vulnerable, but... No, that's bad. Kick the knight? Pin the knight? No. It's not even really much of a pin. They could just support it if they want. Develop the knight? That's kind of an interesting idea. Not as bad as my other ideas. Make that pawn break, huh? Why? Then develop the knight. This is undefended, yeah, but like, can't they play here? I don't see why this is so great for me. I guess I get my knight in here? But so what? I don't quite see where this is going. Oh, it opens up the E file. And gets a knight into a hole in their position. Okay. I was looking at moves like this and I thought it was bad. Because it made these pawns even worse. How does this... I've forgotten again how this actually helps me. Why did I end up with the E file opened? It says I should go here. So whatever line I had that opened up the E file is not actually what the computer is recommending. Huh. Wait, why don't I just... Oh, right. Move the knight to discover an attacker on this square. Sure. Huh. Now, it didn't like takes here. Is there some idea with... develop the knight attacking the bishop, maybe? I don't know, that doesn't seem so great. The bishop can still maneuver pretty well inside my position. Yeah, see? Chase the knight away, but then just takes. I guess I get this. No. Chase the knight with a pawn, so that it actually has to leave instead of here when they could support it. Oh, right, and I have this, which is important. So I don't want to move the bishop. Now takes. And I win the pawn. Yes, I see. So it's important that the knight actually moves. And then we get this. I was trying to figure out, like, I don't know. We have equal forces. If I could deflect anything, but I like didn't really. I don't know. I was trying to like deflect something after capturing, but it doesn't work. Whereas before, it totally does. And here I'm like, this is another position where I'm briefly winning. I captured here. Just take the pawn. The knight is pinned. Keep the knight in a pin. Don't take pinned pieces. So why exactly was my move so bad? I mean, it wins the pawn back still, but it trades my good bishop for their pinned knight. I don't immediately see how I could like pile up on it, but sure, just in general, don't take pinned pieces. And here I'm winning again, and it was just like not taking this that ruined my life. I think I'm supposed to capture this. I just don't know with which piece. Here allows takes. Rook here. But I think the same thing applies here, right? Takes. And then if they want, they can do this. But I guess at that point, I can try to pile up like so, and maybe I don't end up having to exchange bishops. Are these both good? No, only pawn takes is good. So what exactly is the issue here? I lose a pawn this way. Or... No, that was an even exchange, but they get obviously a very strong rook. But if pawn takes, I can defend the pawn. I mean, I'm not surprised I didn't see that. And this rook is still a big problem, but apparently it's fine. Apparently I'm super winning. I don't quite understand this little shuffle. Okay, we do this until it would threaten to repeat, and then we just push the pawn to defend it. Oh my god, and we just let the rook in. Well, I mean, what choice? Oh, I don't, because this threatens to pin it, I guess, or... Like, if suppose they come in. Apparently it's just fine. Take the knight. See if I care. That's very spooky. Because it takes, I get my rook here, and that's just a big problem. I don't understand this endgame at all. And then even after this, I was okay. I mean, there are 3 legal moves, I guess. One of them is way better than the other, huh? They all seem disastrous. I don't know. Why is... Oh, you can blockade, you dummy! Ugh. Then, if rook here... We're actually okay. Right, then you blockade, and they try doubling up, and you say, don't come in. Huh. Boy, I had a lot of chances on this game, and just couldn't find any of them. Well, I get what I deserve. Fair enough. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.